This is a short series on how we bikepack the Natchez Trace Parkway, where we camped, got water, got food, and what we experienced along the way. So come along on our bikepacking adventure so you can start planning yours today. So it's 5 o'clock in the morning. We glamped last night in a hotel, so we got kind of a little bit later start. We are getting back on the trace, 102 miles to Natchez, and I'll be finished. Today, the plan was to ride to Rocky Springs Campground, which would have been about a 47-mile day for us. However, plans changed drastically, and you'll soon see why. On this day, I just felt blah. Shoot. You know how some days are just like really good days?
Yeah,
other days, it's not that I'm hurting anywhere or anything like that.
Some days you just have the legs, some days you don't.
I don't have the legs today.
It's not explainable either.
Yeah.
It just happens.
It's just gonna, I mean, the struggle is gonna be real today, get the 50.
Yeah, we're just cruising.
Yeah.
Down to what we ate yesterday and last night. It has a lot to do with what you do today.
I ain't never eating no damn pizza anymore. I definitely learned my lesson on eating a ton of pizza the night before a big ride. I pushed through it, but I had to whine here and there for a little bit that morning. Yeah, I mean, just the struggle's real today.
That's all right. Cruise along.
The first historical site we stopped at was the Osborne stand at milepost 93. Back in 1805, stands were built along the trace to provide food and shelter. All that's there now is the sign, so don't expect anything. Don't worry though, just a few miles down the road and you'll get to a nice town.
And Market Gas 0.4 miles east, so we need to go east off of mile marker 89.
So at milepost 88 is the Mead Cemetery. Now, Mr. Mead was not only a tavern owner, but he was also a politician. I mean, you gotta love the 1800s. In 1806, he was actually an acting governor. Let's see, Mr. Mead, oh yeah, he was the man that ordered the arrest of the former Vice President Aaron Burr on charges of treason. Now, Mead had a grand estate out here on this land, but sadly it burned down during the Civil War. And all that is left now is the family cemetery. You can take this little walkway back here in the woods and you'll come across it. And wow is all I can say.
Work ahead.
I sure hope it does. As you can see, once you leave Mead Cemetery, for the next 34 miles or so, there are not a lot of stops until you get to Rocky Springs Campground, which is at milepost 54.8. This is where we were planning on staying, but our plans changed drastically. Okay, stop the music because this right here is what was crazy. All right, this whole trip you have yet to hear me complain about any type of insects. Number one, they weren't that bad. Number two, I'm a Mississippi girl. Like, I know all about mosquitoes and getting bit and that kind of thing. Not a problem. But all of that is about to change. So we're about 67 miles out from Natchez. And I'm like over here coughing and stuff. And Rodney's like, what is going on with you? Because I'm even gagging. I said, I swallowed a bug and it's in my throat. And he's rolling laughing. But not for long. You can see this. But the gnats. See him just flying around him? It's horrible. The gnats were no joke. They would go in your nostrils and you're trying to get them out. They would go in behind your sunglasses and literally get in your eyeballs and you're trying to get them out. I just can't even tell you how bad it was. However, we came up with this great plan. So we thought we would go on to Rocky Springs Campground and we would set up our site. We would start a fire. Surely a fire, the smoke from it would deter the gnats from us. But that was not the case. The only spot that you could get some relief was in this little visitors, I guess you would call it a visitor center, but they had some cool artifacts in here, and the restrooms were right here.
It's definitely better by the fire.
I mean, they're like,
Yeah, I know.
it's super bad. Okay. So it's about 10:30 in the morning, and we have rode right at 50 miles to get here. We were hungry, so we cooked us something to eat and fought the gnats the whole time. While we were eating, we discussed that staying here was not going to be an option and that we just needed to keep riding and we'd figure it out along the way. And that's what we did for a few miles because I had to stop at Owens Creek. Owens Creek is at mile marker 52.4. And it's a very small waterfall unless it's rained a whole bunch. So I seen Rodney going that way, and then I spotted this little trail so I could go to the bottom of the waterfall, and I took off. But now I am. Gotta come through a waterfall. There's fish in there too. While Rodney freaks out for a few minutes, check out these awesome pictures that I took, only because I went down there. I'm going to call my mom when we get up here and we stop again and get her to watch the weather for us.
Okay.
You know, just in case like a thunderstorm is going to come through or whatever. Or the radar thing. I'll tell her where we're at. Look at all this stuff. After the phone call to mom support, we found out the rain was going to be hit or miss. Luckily, it missed us. Now, it rained all around us and we could see it off in the distance. But I wanted to make sure we stopped at mile marker 41.5, which is the Sunken Trace. Now, this was an awesome sight. Tell me this isn't cool. Huh?
How did it get sunken?
It said like from all the wagons and stuff constantly being pulled through here. Oh, years and years of that. Wow, look. So yes, the gnats were still bad, but the stop is so worth it. It only takes about, I don't know, 5 minutes or so to walk the whole loop, but it's just so pretty and you have to.
You got that on?
Gnats. They're bad. Oh. I feel like you gotta just keep walking. Rodney and I jumped off the trace at milepost 37.5, and that's Highway 61, and rode about half a mile down to a little gas station, and we picked up some little sandwiches and drinks, and we grabbed it all to go, and then we rode the half mile back to the trace, and was trying to open up our drinks and get our food out and get situated. 4 miles. The gnats are so bad that I chose to ride another 55 miles after riding 55 miles. Because, oh, there it is, 100 miles, woo! 100 miles. So I decided to ride another 55 miles just because the gnats were that bad. So that should put that in perspective for you. At last, one of the signs I was looking forward to seeing. This sign tells me the south terminus is 10 miles. Here we go, the last 10.
Just count them off. That was 10.
Here's number 9. There's mile marker 8.
Six.
Now we're at 5.
We're 4. More miles.
Yeah.
2 more miles.
Yay.
Last one of those you'll be seeing, Rachel.
Come on now. We both know we weren't sure about me making it the whole way.
Oh, I knew you said you was going to do it. I didn't have a doubt in my mind about it.
Never in a million years would I have thought we'd have finished 3 days early. Plus I got my century.
Plus, century plus.
Here we at 110. 110 miles.
I hear you. That's a long day on that seat.
Yeah. Still trying to figure out how I'm going to explain to the massage therapist, like, so, I need a butt massage. Could you just focus on my butt?
Yeah.
I mean, like, how bad is that going to sound? I feel like maybe I should be like, oh, I just rode my bicycle a little over 500 miles. I think maybe I should lead with that before just coming in there and being like, yes, could you just focus on my butt?
Just tell them what you want.
Okay, so watch this. This is Rodney's famous move. Whenever he gets tired of listening to me talk, he just rides right on out in front of me like it's nothing. And just like that, it was over. I know, but you know you gotta turn in here. We finished. We made it. I made it.
A hell of a journey. 7-day journey. You're almost done with it.
Now, there's nothing like being finished, but not finished. And what I mean by this is we still had to ride to a motel. Now, I booked a motel that was right off the trace. It was about, I guess, a mile or so down the road. It was the first one we came to. It was a hole-in-the-wall place, but that didn't matter because it cost me $57 a night, and I was able to take a shower and be gnat-free for the night. After talking with some locals, we come to realize they're called buffalo gnats, and this is the worst that they have ever been in years in Natchez and around Natchez. I was just so excited to enter this room and just strip down and take a shower because look at that. I rode 111.98 miles that day. I would call it 112. Come on now, give it to me. It's the longest I've ever rode still today. So I'm going to post some videos of things that we did while we were in Natchez that I think you should do as well. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and leave me a comment.